people like the number 10 because it's a nice round number.
Right.
And like with heavyweight champions, there were 15, what is it now if you want to include Vladimir and Vitaly? You could say there are 16 or maybe 17 heavyweight champions throughout history different than the rest, right? Like they stuck their head up a little higher. In my opinion, those 16 are, in no particular order, but I'm looking at ESPN's list right now, and I'm going to add, 6 names. One of them is obviously Kobe Bryant, who didn't make the top 10. The other is Moses Malone. There's 2.
Top 16, okay.
Dr. J is another one who didn't make the list.
Now, these names, let's be real about it. Like, how much of your knowledge base is based on you actually seeing it?
Well, Moses Malone, when I was a little kid, if the best player in the world wasn't Bird or Magic, and Dr. J was obviously on the downside, it was Moses Malone.
All right.
Moses Malone's teams always went to the conference finals in the Eastern or Western Conference. He gave everyone problems. Kareem, whoever he went up against, they had problems. And when they went faux, that famous prediction, it was faux.
Right.
The chairman of the boards, when he was asked before he got to the league, what does he do? He says, I goes to the glass. This man will give you 30 and 18. Matter of fact, when I just said who Dwight Howard should be, and I said, Bill, no one's played like that since Bill Russell. Well, actually, Dwight Howard could have been Moses Malone.
Damn.
Who was better than Dwight Howard.
That's high praise.
Okay. And when you say Dr. J, I didn't see his prime. He was in the ABA playing for the Nets.
Didn't Moses go straight from high school?
Yeah.
I could tell. Say that again. Faux.
But Dr. J, he was putting up Larry Bird numbers in the ABA. 30 points.
ABA, is that NBA?
No, but it's double-digit rebounds. He's averaging 15 boards a game, and he's the MVP of the league and the finals MVP and the scoring champ. At a certain point, the ABA wasn't the NBA, but it was very close to as good as the NBA.
Is it like the D-League?
No, much better.
Much better. NFC and AFC back in the day.
Right. More like that.
Right.
More like the AFC to the NFC back in the day.
I'm playing devil's advocate, but just want to have some fun.
So Dr. J, Moses Malone, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. There's 4. I don't see Oscar Robertson on that list.
I don't see the big
5.
Yeah.
And who else did and I'm missing 1.
It's your list. I don't know. You got top 16, only got 15 names. What is you, ignorant? I can't help you, dog. Let's see. That's Kevin, not on there?
Yeah. Is it Kevin Durant? I don't know. I guess Durant.
Well prepared, Max. Well prepared for this.
Well, anyway, I'm missing someone. I'll remember it.
Oh, man. Top 15.
There's 15, but there's one more I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting one.
Okay. Must not be that great if you forgot him.
Who could it be? Oh, did I say
Pistol
Kobe?
Pete?
Kobe. So here are the 6 that aren't on the list. Kobe. Yep. There's 1.
Write it down.
Dr. J is 2. Moses Malone is 3. Elgin Baylor is 4, in no particular order. Jerry West is 5.
Big O. And Big O is 6.
And Oscar Robertson is 6. Those are the 6 others. Now, here are the names on the actual list. At number 10, Hakeem Olajuwon. You won't find a bigger Hakeem fan than me.
I've heard over the years.
Like I know Kareem was better and Wilt in his day and all that stuff, but in the end, if I'm actually making a team and I'm trying to beat you, I'm probably taking Hakeem.
Taking him? All right.
Hakeem can run the floor with any team you want. Defensively, he was a beast. The only thing he didn't do until later in his career was pass very well. But you know what? He wound up a good passer. Like, if you want to know who Hakeem was and you didn't get to see him play, think Tim Duncan, but make him better in every respect except passing and make him more athletic.
That's a lot of good.
Shaq at number 9. Duncan at 8. Bill Russell at 7.
Now, you're going through this because you have no issue with this, or you just
Well, I'm just telling you what it is.
Right.
Larry Bird at 6. Wilt Chamberlain 5. Magic Johnson 4. LeBron James 3. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 2. And Michael Jordan 1. Now, I don't have a problem with Jordan at 1 or Kareem at 2. I think LeBron's ranked a little bit high here, but I can justify it. Magic Johnson 4, fine. Wilt 5, fine. Bird 6, I get it. Bill Russell 7, I think is a little low, but I also understand the ranking. Now here we get a Shaq in the top 10, yes, because Shaq at his peak was, something different. Mm-hmm. But there are 2 names in this top 10 who, I'm sorry, were not Kobe Bryant. And that's Tim Duncan
Well, according to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was.
Well, no, he said that he'd rather have had Tim Duncan's career because there was more stability around him.
Yeah, but that's his reasoning. But he had him up there. He said it better than Kobe.
He's
career.
not. No, he's not better than Kobe. Now,
that's what
Kareem it's not
said.
just about career, though. You have to balance the win shares or whatever over the career and the peaks to which they rose.
That's how you grade it,
Yes,
Max.
but I am the official decider.
Okay, all right.
Now,
all right.
Duncan and Hakeem, as great as they were, Hakeem was so great that when Jordan retired for those years, it was like, okay, now we get my late great brother Sam used to say this. Okay, look, we're in parallel universe NBA. Let's find out who's the best. And everyone thought, oh, here comes Stockton and Malone. Here come the Knicks with Patrick Ewing. And Hakeem was like, no, here comes Olajuwon because I'm better than Malone or Stockton or Ewing or anybody else. And then he did it again. And then Jordan got back to the league, and that was the end of that. But Hakeem was no joke. But I'm sorry. Kobe at his best, better than Hakeem. Kobe at his best, better than Duncan. And if you want to talk about their careers, Kobe's in his 20th season. He's got 5 championships. Very difficult to put Duncan and Hakeem.
Who else has 5?
Duncan.
Oh, in fewer years. Interesting.
No, just about as many years.
And not exactly the same.
More stability, correct? Overall, throughout his career.
Got to the same place.
But he got to the same place. And when did he do it? When Dr. Jerry Buss, the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss, the greatest owner by far in the history of American team sports, when he started declining and it ceased to really be his team, and then when he passed, that is when Duncan didn't pass Kobe. It's when he tied Kobe. So we see.
Wow, boy.
That
You
once
selling
again,
L.A., boy.
that once again, I'm not selling L.A. Let me tell you something else.
You're real estate.
Coming up,
real estate
I
agent?
understand why Magic is 4 and Bird is 6. I get it. I want to make the Kobe argument based on Magic and Bird. Everyone likes to base it on Jordan. Jordan was better than Kobe. But they're very similar players.
Yep.
But everyone uses Jordan. I want to use Magic and Bird to explain something. Coming up, Max and Marzel's talking about Kobe's omission in the top 10 of the ESPN list all time. I can understand ranking Kobe as low as 9. Jordan, Kareem, LeBron, Magic, Wilt, Bird, Russell.
Bird over Kobe?
Shaq.
What?
Well, I mean, you have no problem putting Magic over Kobe. The perception was when they were both active, Bird was a little better than Magic.
Perception's not reality in
No,
this
but
case.
actually when you look back at it, you go, they were about the same.
Wow.
At their best.
Wow.
I mean, Bird used to meet Magic in the finals, beat him sometimes too.
Okay, but at their
And Bird
heights,
won 3 straight MVPs.
offensively at their heights, comparable, if not Bird.
I don't know. Yeah, Bird.
Defensively, calm down.
Yeah, although Bird and Magic
was
were
a
very
rebounder.
similar defensively.
Bird could rebound, but that's it.
Double digits. No, but Bird and Magic were similar defensively in the sense that they gambled. Remember the way LeBron used to play defense when he first got to the league?
What's that?
He would gamble on passing lanes and kind of play undisciplined but smart defense at times. That's how Bird and Magic basically always played defense. Look, okay, so I'm glad you brought Bird and Magic up. I would put so the 8 names I think you could argue ahead of Kobe are Jordan, Kareem, LeBron, Magic, Wilt, Bird, Russell, and Shaq. I don't think you can win the Duncan or Hakeem argument ahead of Kobe. And there was one other person ahead of Kobe. I'm guessing it was Oscar Robertson, 11, but whatever. Whether it was Oscar Robertson or Elgin Baylor or Dr. J or Jerry West or Moses Malone, I would say no, Kobe's better than those guys. Now, here's the thing about Magic and Bird. Generally, when they are ranked today, Magic is ranked ahead of Bird mainly because he won 5 and Bird won 3 championships.
Yep.
And Bird had the bad back.
Yep.
Before Magic contracted HIV, which obviously shortened both of their careers. And so they're normally paired together. If one's ahead of the other, it's Magic. And in fact, when you look at their careers, probably Magic had a better career, and at their peaks it was close. And here they insert Wilt between Magic and Bird, but let's take Magic and Bird as a pair. Let me ask you this. I'm not arguing that Kobe is offensively better than Magic and Bird. He was clearly a better scorer than either.
Yep.
But I'm not going to argue offensively he was better because Magic and Bird were not good passers. They were geniuses. Like Magic was probably the greatest passer of all time.
Right.
And Bird is right there. Like Bird was when I think of Bird's game, more than shooting or anything else, I think of the passing, to tell you the truth.
I think you're just trying to veer off with the obvious, which is his shooting. And then you say, oh, his passing was tremendous.
Obviously, he's a scorer, but
his shooting was
the
the
thing
best.
that made you feel when you watched Bird, like, oh my God, was that it's the passing or the shooting, whatever.
Yeah.
Magic didn't have the shooting; he had the passing and other things. But Larry Bird's passes, like he's a genius. The way you watch Jason Kidd or Magic Johnson or any of the genius passers, right? So I'm not arguing Kobe's better than them offensively. But would you say they're better than Kobe offensively? Because they passed and
Tough
everything?
sell.
Because Kobe's scoring is off the charts.
Yeah, tough sell to talk about them offensively. If you want to just stay in that narrow scope, Kobe's a much better scorer. If you had to say ISO play, you say running within the system, pick your spots on the court. Magic got his little baby hook. Magic started to work on his three-pointers. And Magic, I think his mid-range was always there, but basically those was his. Kobe, best wing post player maybe ever. Who's better than Kobe at the post?
I mean, Jordan was pretty mean.
Jordan was mean, but fundamentally it seems like Kobe just can get to where he wants to go.
Mini Hakeem.
Yeah, like he can get to where he wants. So I understand why that's a tough one for you.
So let's call it a wash offensively. Yeah. And I think that's fair. Kobe's a better scorer. They're better passers. You know what? You want to give Magic and Bird the slight edge offensively over Kobe. I won't even argue with you too much because you're talking about the rebounds and the assists and the passing and everything and uplifting the teammates instead of driving them and all that. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine, whatever. Defensively, Kobe was much better than them. Now, Kobe was not always consistent defensively, whatever, but when you really need to be great defensively, he could be. He could be really good defensively when you needed him to be, in the playoffs, for example. So if they're very close offensively and one's better defensively, then even though you say, well, Magic in particular uplifted his teammates, brought the best out of them. Bird was kind of rough at times, but still you could argue included his teammates more with his passing than Kobe. But now you're giving Magic and Bird double points, double credit for the passing. Even if you do that, and you want to say that by the slimmest of margins, you therefore put them ahead of Kobe, who was better than them defensively, I think that's a tough argument. But even if you want to do that, how are they 4 and 6 and Kobe's 12?
Well, you know why, Max? Because if you just look at the list right here, the best argument you can make for someone being primarily a defensive player is Bill Russell. Yeah. Everyone else on here, and like everything, like Pro Bowl voting, like All-Star voting, we only see one side of the court.
Well, Jordan. No, he wasn't primarily.
No, not primarily. No, of course.
He was a great defensive player.
He was a great. There's a few great defensive players here.
Well, in the top 5, there's one great defensive player, Jordan. And in the top,
LeBron. LeBron.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah, he became one.
He became one. He could play defense on a 1 through 5.
You're right. He became one.
Yeah, don't do that. Yep. Don't do it. Yep. Will, when he wanted to, whenever that was. Yep. But the point is, offense is going to skew our minds and our perception of what we see.
But offense is Kobe. Like I agree with you there, but given Kobe's now let me tell you another reason I think Kobe's underrated right now.
Freudian.
Oh, shut up, Freud. What did Freud know? Here's why Kobe's underrated. And I mentioned this in the last couple of days. Because not just are we influenced by what we see recently, and I don't just mean this like the bum Kobe of this year, right? Well, because sometimes been right, but he's been a straight bum a lot of games. And he knows it. He knows when he's a bum. He says it.
Yeah, he did say it this year.
But even the Kobe post-championship run, who people were like, oh, he's still a top 3, top 5 player, that dude was not anywhere near as good as prime Kobe, right? Yep. But we remember that guy, and we kind of conflate him with prime Kobe. But it's not just that even. It's that the league has changed so much that ISO plays, the ISO scorer has been so devalued that it's, you know how I talk about better and greater?
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Okay, wait, there's too much to get into here. I have to do this coming up. And some people you could make the intelligent argument that you put Kobe third, and I would say I don't put him third, but I get the argument. In the modern era, so like you're devaluing the pre-modern NBA, Russell and Wilton, those guys.
Yeah, I gotta go.
And once you do that, of the modern players, the only guys who you say no, Kobe wasn't better than him were Jordan and Kareem. Yeah, otherwise, you got an argument with anyone.
The real question you're answering once you do that is, if he's the closest approximation to the best player ever?
Yeah.
Then why is he so damn low? He should be 3 or top
I say
5
you could put
sure.
Kobe anywhere between 3 and 9. And you could make a real argument anywhere. He's somewhere in that range.
Better than LeBron?
Well, you could make the argument.
No, what do you say?
No, because LeBron's peak. But okay, now I want to get into why this is. Okay. You know how I always make the argument there's a difference between better and greater?
Mm-hmm.
You say, let me make it plain for you. Look, every football team today in the NFL would destroy any football team from before the merger.
They didn't have 300-pounders then.
Right. They would get killed.
Yep.
Well, what if you were playing by those rules? They get killed. You understand? They could play the rule according to the rules in the 1950s, 1960s. You take a modern team, and they would stomp on them.
Mm-hmm.
But are we saying we're better than them? That these teams, yes, I'm saying better. I'm not saying greater.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you another example. In the one sport that can be measured totally objectively, track and field. Marcellus' sport.
My sport.
That's your number one sport.
That's right.
You were the fastest 14-year-old in the United States of America, weren't you?
11 or 12, but you keep getting
11
older.
or 12.
The older he gets, the slower I look now.
That's
so
right.
You got to make him young.
So you were 11 or 12, and you were the number one fastest 11-year-old or 12-year-old in the United States.
So not the fastest.
In the 400.
Yeah.
Okay, still.
Hey, it was me. Gold medal.
You know what I mean?
I beat Warwick Dunn in Chicago.
The U.S. of A.
Yeah. Send your boy from Baton Rouge, Warwick Dunn. Send your butt home with a 5th-place ribbon.
It's your boy.
Got that dude.
So.
Well, I appreciate
call him that dude for nothing?
Nothing. Oh.
Nowadays they call him that dudes. You got to pluralize it.
Both of them.
All right. So in track and field, measured totally objectively, it's not up to anyone's opinion. You know how you know? Jesse Owens made it 100 yards in this amount of time. Carl Lewis made it in this amount of time. Mm-hmm. And you can compare them precisely. Every top 10 sprinter in the world today dusts Jesse Owens.
Smokes.
And the definition of better in track and field is how fast you are, period.
Right.
So every top 10 sprinter in the world today is better than Jesse Owens.
High schoolers are better.
But how many are as great? Greatness is a comparison to your contemporaries.
Say it, Max.
Because a whole slew of things change. Equipment, training methods, athletes procreating with other athletes, because that happens. All kinds of stuff changes. The environment changes in a sport. Rules changes, favors one type of a player over another type of player.
Technology, yep.
So what happened? What's happened with Kobe? As rules changes affected the way the game was played, and as analytics became increasingly important because it's such big business, we were able to much more carefully describe what is a good play versus what is a bad play, what's efficient basketball play versus inefficient basketball play. And Kobe came around in an era that predates the understanding we now have of that, and played an ISO brand of basketball that was incubated during an ISO period, a time when the rules favored that brand of basketball. He then exists because he played for 20 seasons. He exists through the modern age into the postmodern age. What's the postmodern age? Well, the modern age is the advent of the three-point shot, the absorption of the ABA teams, and the advent of the three-point shot, 79-80, which, coincidentally, Bird and Magic come into the league. That's the modern era. Jordan is its greatest player. Kobe existed in that era. Now the postmodern era. They saw D'Antoni's system, which was the first to fully exploit the three-point shot. They said, you know what? This is a good brand of basketball. Like they changed the rules in football to favor the forward lateral. Mm-hmm. The passing game, the same thing in basketball. You know what? I like this D'Antoni style, this European style. Let's bring that. No more hand checking, zone defenses, all this rules changes, which coincided with people taking full advantage of the rules changes. Now suddenly the dinosaurs like Kobe playing iso ball from a previous era look worse. And in addition, when you run the numbers, the advanced analytics, the most sophisticated way of looking at things, you say, in fact, he was worse. He wasn't as efficient in that league as Steph is in this league. But he's being victimized by not only his era, which is an era that people don't like as much, and it was a less efficient era, but also by the fact that he existed so long that he crossed over into another era. So it's not just that we see bad version of Kobe now, but we see that his game wouldn't translate to the extent that it did then now. And we know that the way he played was not as efficient as it is now. All these things mean that he might not be better than some of the modern players, the postmodern players, Steph Curry, LeBron James. But that doesn't mean he wasn't greater in his era than they are in this era, and it conspires all together to underrate Kobe Bryant. Drop the Mike.
You messed up, Rod. You got seduced by all his saltiness.
No, I just fell asleep.
And Marcellus, I'm sorry, that's all the time.
You know what's interesting about Max?
KSPN Los Angeles.
That was perfectly said in perfect timing, because right now we're going through the political season where everyone is out there staying on message, and I know you selling LA that. And that made a lot of sense until I started looking at the names on this list and realized that not only Kobe has been victimized by the changing of eras, but every single damn person on this list. Let's go back. Let's go back to Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. What do you call that? Pre-modern?
Yes.
Yeah, and then what started to change? They had the 24-second shot clock change, right?
Yep.
They also the 3-point line came in during the Magic.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to the next era.
Yep.
Magic, Bird. Yep. All of a sudden, the emphasis 3-point line, right? Okay, so they got affected. Oh, we came in the league, they weren't shooting these threes.
No.
I'm not done. Then Jordan, and we talking about what's that? The modern era you call that?
Modern era.
Modern era. And Jordan, as he started to evolve, he's like, I got to shoot more threes, bring my game backwards. And then we get to the Kobe, LeBron. Oh, we're good. Nothing else could change in this game. And then Steph Curry and these boys is taking it to another place. My point is, I think that neutralizes it for everybody on this list.
Let's take it case by case.
Draw the mic.
Let's take it case by case.
A little bit, though. All right, let's go.
In fact, Bill Russell here is rated 7th.
Yeah.
And Wilt Chamberlain 5th. And I think people are they're devaluing the fact that the pre-modern era was imbalanced competitively.
Yeah, exactly.
And they took better advantage of it than others for various reasons.
Exactly. Dudes can dribble with both hands.
Right.
Come on, man.
But we see that Wilt, who other than Jordan has the greatest numbers ever, the 3 greatest statistical players ever are Jordan, Wilt, and LeBron. And it may be Jordan, LeBron, and Wilt, but those are the 3 greatest. When you run the numbers, you go, okay, those are the 3 guys.
Right.
Jordan and 2 physical freaks who were like too big and fast and strong. Mm-hmm. But Wilt we see at 5 and Russell at 7. They have been, I believe, their era has been properly accounted for. Now let's go to Magic and Bird. In fact, they came into the modern era. They never played in the pre-modern era. 79-80 coincides with their entrance into the NBA. And so their adjustments happened right in the beginning. But in fact, Larry Bird, for example, maybe he's being underrated. Because when you look at the 3-point shooting, you go, well, he shot 29% from 3 1 year. And then you have to explain to people, first of all, he's a power forward as much as he's a small forward. Yeah. And no one really knew about how important the 3-point shot was. So and maybe that conspires to keep Bird he won 3 consecutive NBA MVPs and 3 championships. So maybe he is being a little bit underrated there. Magic got 5 chips, learned how to shoot the 3, and became a much better shooter as time went on.
Had to learn.
And you know what he did? He did something that's never going to happen again. As a rookie that enters the NBA at the age of 19, by the age of 20, that same season, he's playing in the finals, jumping at center, giving him 42, 15, and 7, and in the win as a rookie.
Game 6, give it to him.
You want to see what Kobe and LeBron were doing at the age of 19, 20? You think they had a shot of doing what Magic did? Maybe Magic is being underrated. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we talk about your larger point, I think, which is that Kobe's lack of adaptability hurts his rating, in a sense.
Hurts his game, too.
I agree with you. I think Kobe would rank higher on the list.
Yep, like
were
Duncan.
He more able to adapt the way Duncan did, accept the diminished role.
Yep.
But higher on the list means instead of as low as 9, maybe as low as 6. They got him 12.
They got him 12.
That's too low. That's all I'm saying.
I do understand what you mean. I have Kobe top 10. This list, just trying to find the validation of this list, in my mind, is the fact that if you look at everyone that's above him, you either see comparable career or comparable peak, but it's rare to see both. So Jordan, well, he got him. Jordan
got him on peak.
Got him on peak and career.
I guess.
Kobe?
Well, Kobe played 20 seasons.
Okay, yeah, but then we're going to count the last 3 as that's 17. We're already down to. Let's stop. Kareem got him on both.
Got him on both. Yeah, those are the two. Those are the two where you have ironclad arguments over Kobe, Jordan and Kareem. That's it. That's
LeBron,
where it ends.
No, LeBron.
You got him ironclad?
You know why? Because in year 13, where LeBron is, where Kobe was, year 13, LeBron averages 2 more points, another rebound, another assist, and not the championships, but the championships for Kobe he got his last 2 in year 13, 14. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's only like 6, 7 years ago.
But he got 3 before then.
He got 3, and LeBron's been to 5 and got 2.
Yeah,
so he's
been to 5 in a weak conference.
Right.
Like the argument again. This is what I mean. Yes, I also put
LeBron's right there.
I put LeBron ahead of Kobe.
Right.
But I'm not saying it, like Jordan and Kareem got ironclad cases. LeBron's case is not ironclad.
No, you're right. It's not ironclad, but you certainly make the strongest argument to say, Kobe, you got to watch out for this guy. And this guy's not done.
Well, maybe, but
in the race at the same pace, LeBron's got Kobe
dealing with
outside of one championship.
LeBron's dealing with the reality of Steph now, the way Kobe had to deal with the reality of LeBron in his day.
Right.
But the difference is, like, look, LeBron, this is not me trying to make an excuse one way or another. Here we are in L.A. You don't hear me arguing Kobe's the greatest of all time. Some people argue that in L.A. I'm not arguing that. But I'm saying LeBron keeps getting to the finals in a weak conference compared to the Western Conference. And once he gets to the finals, he has stacked the deck in his favor because the GMs haven't done it for him. So he stacked the deck in his favor, as you would say, to the tune of Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh at a time when Dwayne Wade was one of the top 3 players in the league.
Yeah, man.
And Bosh was a franchise player in Toronto. And then later, once they get the number 1 pick and they can flip that into Kevin Love, who is considered a top 5 to 10 player, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. So, like, I don't want to hear excuses about LeBron. He gets by a weak conference and has won 2. Now, Kobe, you can say, won 5, but 3 of them he was second fiddle.
And they made that team. The general manager did it, but Kobe and Shaq weren't drafted together. But they made that team.
That's true, but you know what? They had no other all-star caliber player. And the reason you go is Kobe was so gangster that that Kobe and Shaq, it's like you just need some role players.
Right.
They're so good. Well, apparently LeBron needs a little bit more than that. My point is this.
I hear you.
When you really look at those 5 championships, when Kobe played second fiddle, it wasn't A and B. It was 1A, 1B.
He still averages like high 20s, 30.
Right. And the real championship occurred usually in the Western Conference. Like that Sixers team that actually was the only team to beat the Lakers that postseason, that Sixers team was not the best team.
Well, don't we discount Magic Johnson's failures in the finals then? Because remember, he won 5, lost 4.
Yeah.
And the Eastern Conference was stronger, I would say, that decade than the Western. You don't want to go there.
Well, no.
Drop the...
No. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. That Houston, those.
Yeah, the Rose hit him. Throw it
down, Raj.
And remind me again, what happened to those Houston teams once they did get past the Lakers? The 2 times
they would lose in the finals.
Yes,
yeah.
Smokes.
But what I mean is the Houston teams were really good.
In the East, those 3 or 4 teams from the East, then that was making it to the
That
finals
was
could
going
win.
Well, the Sixers won. Who else?
The Celtics won.
The Celtics, obviously, but that's what we're
that's
discussing.
3,
Detroit Pistons.
4.
The Detroit Pistons were at the end of that era.
Well, that's only one. That's the
that
decade.
Was that was at post Kareem.
So the Lakers got 5, then the Celtics got 3, the Sixers got 1, and then we talk about the Pistons at the end.
Okay,
but that's my point.
The Pistons.
You're going to start undermining Magic?
My claim is that the Pistons, back-to-back, occurred at the end after the Lakers-Celtics era was over already.
We give you that, Max. All I said is, if you want to start undermining LeBron's, let's start undermining Magic.
Okay, start undermining Magic's.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, what I'm saying is...
But he lost 4.
No, right. What I'm saying is undermine away. Magic got 5. Kobe got 5. Bird with a bad back got 3.
And where LeBron got 2 with the potential of more.
Okay,
when did Kobe get his 3rd? I mean, when did Kobe get his 4th?
When they got Pal?
Yeah, and that's in year 14.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving aren't good enough.
Well, there go LeBron on year 14.
Tristan Thompson makes like $17 million a year. He's pretty good.
So LeBron's right there on that pace to get his – he's 1 behind Kobe. If he gets 1 right now, he's 1 behind Kobe. Well, I don't think so either.
Yeah, is he getting 1 next year?
I can't go there because I didn't think Kobe was going to get any more after Shaq left. You didn't either.
LeBron – okay, let's put it this way. LeBron's days of winning the championship as the best player in the NBA are over. Pretty soon the day will come where his days of winning a championship as the best player on his own team are going to be over.
When did Kobe win his championship as the best player in the NBA? Never.
Back to back.
As the best player in the NBA in 2010.
You could argue.
Boy, drop the dog, am I going to be an NBA analyst?
You're running out of microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't do it no more.
Now,
no
but by the way, Marcellus, you're asking me who would I put ahead of whom, Kobe or LeBron, and I'm saying I put LeBron.
Hold on, that mic's still in the air.
You and I agree with on that. What I'm saying is LeBron's case is not ironclad.
No, I agree.
And
10 times
neither
over.
is Magic's or Bird's or Wilt's. None of those guys have ironclad arguments over Kobe.
Hold on, Wilt averaged 30 and 23 for his career. I know it was I get it,
right,
but we're gonna start undermining everybody then.
Yes, you can put
in there even.
You can try. In other words, you can try to equalize or normalize or create a common denominator or see the highs and the lows, see the pros and the cons. And I'm saying
23?
When you do that,
career average 30 and 23.
That's right. Career 2 championships, even though he played with a slew of Hall of Famers. I mean, that's what it is.
Okay. I just said that if we're going to use that hammer against Wilt, that hammer works on Magic. It works on Kobe.
Well, 5. Go ahead.
Okay. But then
Kareem, 6. Go ahead.
You use
all you're doing is counting championships. Yes, when it comes to splitting hairs among the greatest players of all time, this is why they like the championships. Because they know that when it gets that close, you look for tiebreakers, and guess what? Winning the whole thing as the best player on the team is a hell of a tiebreaker.
Well, if LeBron James is in the same year could be one championship behind Kobe, when he signs 1-year deals every year, can find himself in 2-3 more championships.
Yes.
Then what you going to say?
By the way, you and I agree.
And the win percentage.
Who do you have ahead of whom, Kobe or LeBron?
LeBron.
Me too. We agree about that. All I'm saying is we could easily make the argument. If someone calls up and says, no way, Kobe, I can't say, oh, you're stupid. I could say, well, yeah, you got a point.
I agree with you in that respect.
I just like to voice the concern I think the general audience has. You both agree on this?
Yeah.
Then what the hell we spend the last 17 minutes arguing about?
I think
so we imagine everything Steph Curry might be, and our recall with Kobe is dimmed in comparison.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that leads you to this place where people are looking back, and Kobe gets undervalued. He gets 12th seeded.
Only thing is, I recall Steph lighting the league on fire this year.
1 year.
I recall Steph hitting 40-foot shots.
1 year, Max.
Dropping 42 points,
you know how many times
15
Kobe,
assists, whatever it is.
How many times Kobe lit the league up?
Yeah, you know how many
he had grown men scared to look him in the eye in a non-contact sport.
Yep. Kobe has become underrated.
What?
And I think the greatest proof is this. Magic and Bird are generally in the top 5 and always in the top 10. And while they did uplift their teammates more than Kobe, and offensively they may have been his equal because they also assisted and rebounded better than Kobe and all that stuff, or at least they passed better, etc. Kobe was a better scorer than either guy. Kobe was a better on-ball defender than either guy. Kobe has as many championships as Magic, more than Bird. I think it's a tough argument to make that Magic and Bird are in the top 5, or at least Magic is, and Kobe's not in the top 10. That's a tough argument to make.
There you go.
This is a point of personal contention between Mike and me most of the time. And it's about Kobe Bryant, who is undeniably one of the greatest players of all time. But to me, I think walk away on a high note, walk away after the All-Star game, and Mike believes play every single game because that's what the fans in L.A. want. If it was up to you, what would you say to Kobe Bryant?
Well, he's got to finish the fight now. He's an amazing guy. Nobody knows Kobe because he's a very quiet, reserved guy. Been one of the 10 greatest basketball players ever. He can't leave in the middle of the season. He's earned a farewell tour. I mean, obviously he's going to struggle at times. He's going to have some flashbacks. He had a couple good games last week, and he had an awful game last night. Those are going to happen when you get older. But listen, the NBA should throw him the most amazing farewell tour because it's well-deserved.
Amen.
Thank you so much, as always, for joining us, Charles.
Charles has his voice. He has his voice going into All-Star Weekend. This is a major upset.
Plus, he looks great.
He does look great.
He does. Inside the NBA will host tonight's doubleheader from Toronto. Let's take one last break. Still to come, an uncomfortable moment on the basketball court for Wilbon's favorite rookie, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, not exactly. And Tony leads our birthday tribute to a guy about his age, Burt Reynolds.
I think I might have him by a year or two.
I don't think so.
I think I might have him by a year.
I don't think so.
Look how good Chuck looks.
I think it's great.
I'm Jamel Hill, and on the latest His and Hers podcast, Michael Smith and I discuss a tragic loss in Oklahoma City. Click the Listen tab and subscribe on the ESPN app.
Happy time, people. Happy 80th birthday, Burt Reynolds.
Wow.
Most people remember him as an action and comedy star in such movies as Cannonball Run, Smokey and the Bandit, and both versions of The Longest Yard. Not everyone knows he was a running back at Florida State. Burt Reynolds is so old, he was at Florida State before Bobby Bowden.
Yeah, but remember when Burt Reynolds was young Burt Reynolds, the young guy dating older hottie Dinah Shore?
I do remember that.
She'd be 100 now. He was 20 years younger. That was a big deal back in the 70s.
That makes him your hero, doesn't it? Happy anniversary, Brett Favre. On this day 24 years ago, the Packers traded a first-round pick to the Falcons to get Favre. That draft pick turned out to be Tony Smith, who scored 2 touchdowns in his entire career. Meanwhile, Favre started at quarterback for 16 seasons with the Packers, was just elected to the Hall of Fame last week. Sort of a one-sided trade.
Is that the worst trade ever? What's worse, that or Lou Brock for Ernie Broglio?
They're both really bad. Happy trails, D'Angelo Russell. Russell went down in a heap after intercepting this LeBron James pass with his groin last
Got picked
night.
off all right.
Russell's teammate Kobe Bryant thought this was, quote, hilarious, unquote. Wilbon, any chance Kobe put LeBron up to it?
No, and people only thought it was hilarious when they realized what had happened, that he wasn't seriously injured. And there were jokes flying. Let's just say they could see people too soon.
D'Angelo Russell laughed about it himself, did he not, at the end of it? No errors today, so we're going to go to the big finish.
Let's do it, Tom.
Vontez Burfict's 3-game suspension was upheld by the NFL. Is that all right with you?
Yes, I told you it could have been 5 as far as I was concerned, so I'm fine with that, Tony. Hassan Whiteside got 1 game for his elbow on Boban of the Spurs. Is that enough?
Okay, by the letter of the law, that's enough. But when you hear Bosch and Wade not back their teammate up and wonder what's wrong with this, what did you say yesterday, that it was a trade situation for that?
Trade deadline situation, right? I think, yeah.
Barry Sanders Jr. is transferring from Stanford to Oklahoma State for his senior season. Does that make sense to you?
I guess it does. You got a big star coming back at that position. You go to your dad's alma mater. I can see it. But I was hoping it worked out for him at Stanford. Seems like it's a nicer man.
Good school, Stanford.
Great school, Stanford. Donovan McNabb says he did not vomit in the huddle during the Super Bowl 11 years ago. Well, that stopped people like you from saying it.
No, because it's a cool
It didn't
story.
happen.
Maybe it didn't happen. Maybe
it's like Derek Jeter and gift bags. It didn't happen.
You're the one who's always talking about the gift bags.
It to
Last
happen.
one. Pelicans at Thunder tonight. It's a slow night. It's the best I can do. Make a pick.
Best you can do. Your Wizards are playing Milwaukee. You don't think that's a better game?
Actually,
the Wizard.
No, actually, I don't.
We're going into the All-Star break. Ain't gonna be a lot of hoops for a while.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. And I'm Tony Kornheiser.
Time for the college kids to take the big stage. I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. Check out the PTI podcast on iTunes.
We're on Jimmy Kimmel tonight. Why don't you watch and see if we bomb?
He'll bomb.
I will.
I'm not gonna bomb.
Good night, Cannon.
The 2016 NBA All-Star Game.
One-on-one and shoots a 3 over him and got it. LeBron James, he is wired in.
Sunday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio.